Hi Taurus, Happy New Year! So I'm really excited to be reading for you today. I'm also an earth sign. I'm a Capricorn, but you know, us earth signs gotta stick together. And welcome to cross watchers who may be watching. So today we're gonna be doing a 2019 overview for you to see how your year is gonna be, what you can expect. And then at the end of the reading, I'm going to do a 3-month overview for you for January, February, and March. And this is going to cover your love life, career, just general life altogether. Now, what I'm going to do with the zodiac readings is every 3 months, I'll come back with one video that will go over what you can expect for the following 3 months after. So let's jump into this reading. So the first thing we want to know is, what is the energy of this new year for Taurus? All right, we have the Sun, clarified by the Knight of Swords. Okay. Instantly, I'm getting that Taurus is going to be feeling very free this year. Your energy is going to be very open. You're going to be speaking your mind. I also feel like you're going to be getting hit with a lot of thoughts, a lot of inspiration, and whatever may have made you feel confined before, you're breaking free from that. So you're breaking free from any type of old ideologies that you had, old limitations of what you thought you could do. Just there's a lot of breaking free. There's a lot of illumination coming into your life. And also I'm sensing a lot of joy. Some of you might also be becoming new parents. Some of you might be starting new businesses, entering into new love. And whatever it is that you're going to be doing this year, it's going to put this energy into your life of shattering some type of old belief that you had of yourself before, Taurus. All right, so clarify. 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 All right, so we have crystals. For some of you, the name crystal is going to be important this year. For others of you, I feel like you're going to be getting into crystal energy work this year. So you might start buying crystals. You might get a crystal as a gift. You might start feeling compelled to look up spiritual meanings of crystals and just kind of being more aware of them and possibly going to crystal shops. I just get some type of sense of crystals. Or for those of you who have already had a deep love for crystals, I feel like, that's going to be expanding. And as I mentioned, you might be offered a gift of crystals. There may be a crystal that specifically wants to be brought into your life. For others of you, I feel like with this Dragon Layers card, that you're going to be getting, once again, going back to that illumination of the mind, Taurus, you're going to be seeing very clearly things that don't serve you. Toxic relationships, toxic people, toxic just environments, anything overall that's a potential danger to you. I feel like you're going to be very crystal clear on that, and you're going to sense it, and you're going to make moves about it. You're not going to be afraid to stand in your power and argue if you have to. To speak your mind, to stand your ground and really let it be known that I'm not okay with this. So I feel as though, Taurus, you're going to be peeping a lot of things this year, a lot of things that may not be good for you, but you're going to be okay. I also feel with this Ask Your Angels card that the angels are going to be very much around you. I mean, you're always protected and divinely directed, Taurus, always. But I feel like the angels want you to connect to them more. They want you to talk to them more. You might have a certain crystal that helps you to connect to angels. I can't remember the name of this one and I feel so bad about it, but my crystal, my blue, well, this is more of a gemstone, but it's technically considered a crystal as well, but this helps me to connect with divine source and angels. There are so many different crystals and gemstones out there with different healing and spiritual properties that you might want to keep one around. Keep one on you, keep one in your home. You might want to even just speak to your divine guidance for protection, for illumination, and especially as you're moving forward, it could be new business ventures that you're ready to take or new relationships you're ready to enter into. Could even be something with the family. Putting down some long-term plans with a family member, or it can be anything, honestly. It's just a matter of you're going to be able to recognize if something isn't good for you. And I feel like your angels are also going to be with you and putting into your mind insight. So be sure to pay attention to your intuition and to your thoughts. And this is number 19. So breaking that down, 1 plus 9 equals 10. And then 10 can be broken down into 1. So you're going to be closing some cycles out and having new beginnings this year. And I feel like it's the closeout of negative cycles. You know, you're closing out a lot of negative situations in your life that you started to become awakened to and realizing how toxic they really were. You're going to be closing those out and ushering in a new cycle of prosperity and happiness into your year, Taurus. And it's because you're listening to yourself, to your divine guidance. You're really in tune, really in tune. All right. So next is, what will the new year bring, Taurus? All right. So we have the 10 of Wands. Instantly, I heard hard work. Clarified by the 7 of Swords. All right. I feel like for some of the Taurus watching, you're going to be laying down some burdens. I think that you may have taken on some responsibilities that perhaps they were yours, or perhaps they were other people's and you wanted to help out. But something has become very heavy, you know, on your life, on your finances, on just yourself in general. And I feel like you're going to be finally admitting to yourself that you need to lay them down. I feel like you might not have wanted to admit to other people how much you were taking on, but this year, you know, it's going to bring you more honesty with yourself. You don't need to hide from how you're feeling and the fact that you may need more support from other people around you. For others of you, I kind of feel like there might have been some secrets that you were hiding, and it could just be not being true to yourself. And I feel like you're going to be breaking free from that this year. That's going to bring you some new clarity and a lightness. Once you let down this persona that you're trying to keep up, you're going to feel a lot freer. Clarify. You know what? I'm feeling called to pull another one from here. Clarify. Clarify. Okay. Now what these cards are telling me, we have father, husband, brother, son. We have follow your heart, and we have follow the leader. So we have 2 follow cards here. The messages that I'm getting from this, some of you are suffering in a sense silently, Taurus, because you're trying to live up to some father figure's ideal of you, and you're choosing a path that they want you to choose, but not following your own heart. I feel like the universe is saying that this year is going to bring you clarity of finally putting down that burden, finally, you know, admitting to yourself and standing in your power of what it is you want to do. And you will fully step into following the leader, which is yourself, when you can admit that you don't want to do what they're telling you to do. You don't want to be the person that they want you to be. You don't want to live your life the way they want you to live your life. So there's going to be some truths coming out. You're going to be letting go of some false senses of self this year. That's what this year is going to bring some of you. For others of you, I feel like you'll be establishing something important to you, and it's going to take a lot of persistence, a lot of tenacity, a lot of hard work. But by following your heart, you know, you're going to get where you want to get, but you may be doing it in silence. I don't feel like for some of you that you'll be sharing it. You know, you're not going to be posting about it on social media. I feel like you're going to be very low key and not talking about what it is that you're working on. And so that's what this year is going to bring you, kind of that saying, working hard in silence. And so let your results talk for you. For some of you, I feel like you're going to be moving south. And that could be south of whatever area or region you're in. I just get a sense for some of you this year, you'll be moving south. For others of you, I do feel as though this year might bring you some complications because perhaps the person that you find yourself falling in love with isn't necessarily the person you feel as though you should be falling in love with. Maybe they're not your ideal person, and you might, in a sense, be ashamed, might want to keep the relationship under wraps or so. Or I could see you trying to lie to yourself about what you feel for them. And I feel like the cards are telling you to just follow your heart. Don't follow pretenses. Don't follow what you think this person is supposed to be like. As long as they are, treating you well, respecting you, that you enjoy being around them, you truly feel a connection. Don't worry about shallow things such as, well, how much money do they make? What kind of job they have? What kind of family did they come from? And all those type of things. Because I feel like some of my Taurus, you've been raised in some type of setting where you feel like the people around you would not accept this person that you're interested in because of their upbringing, because of what they supposedly don't have. And I feel like the universe is telling you, do not mess up your blessing because of things that don't matter, because of shallow things that don't matter. You gonna mess around and lose a good one. And it doesn't have to just be a man. This father, husband, brother, son is coming in. So this may be, to some Tauruses out there who like to romantically be in relationships with men. But this can be for a woman as well, a woman who has very masculine energy or whatnot, or perhaps you bump heads with a male family members of hers. I just feel like the message is coming through to follow your heart. If this is where you want to be, then don't be chased off. As long as you and this person have a good connection, as long as you and this person have great understanding and you want to be there together, don't worry about anything else. I also feel like some of you will be trying to integrate families. So, the person you may be dealing with, Taurus, may have an ex-husband, may have a son with someone else, may have a lot of brothers. Something that it just feels like you have to integrate other males into your life, and that might seem difficult. But I feel like if this is where you really, truly, deeply want to be, to stay the course and to also stand up for yourself, hold your ground. Following this leader, you're following yourself. So I feel like by doing that and asserting that you are worthy of respect and that you really do care and you genuinely plan to be there for the long haul, or for however long this relationship can healthily sustain this connection, then I feel like the universe is letting you know that things are going to work themselves out. Some of you will be entering into new relationships this year, and some of you will be leaving them. I mean, that happens every year, but Taurus, I feel like for you, you might be sneaking away from a situation that was really painful. Some of you, please, and I'm not judging, I would just say that so as not to cloud your energy or any of your karma, if you are leaving a relationship this year, please try to do so with integrity, as much integrity as possible. I do feel as though some Tauruses may be getting seduced in a situation, and you may be tempted to cheat, to kind of stray. And I don't have any judgment. You have to live your life however feels best for you. I would just suggest that, if your heart is leading you in this other direction, that you try as much as possible to make sure that this decision that you make, whether it's to go towards that other person or not, doesn't cause unnecessary drama and strife in your life. I feel like some Tauruses will be coming out this year. So they will be coming out as part of the queer community, coming out as perhaps gay. I also feel like something with transgendered, coming out as a transgendered male. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing that this year will bring you. I just really feel like this year is going to bring you some heavy energy and potentially some challenges, but it's just a matter of these challenges are meant to force you to handle them, force you to choose. I feel like perhaps a lot of Tauruses feel stuck of what is morally right, or what do others want from me, or what's the status quo. I don't want to shake things up too much. And I feel like the universe is putting you into certain positions this year to where you have no choice but to ask yourself, what do I want? Like, it's really forcing you to stand in your power this year and really follow your heart and, put down a lot of things you've been carrying. A lot of Taurus, you've been carrying so much and you don't even realize how much you've been carrying throughout the last few years and how it's just been weighing you down. And the universe is like, I'm going to bring you clarity. I'm going to make you feel so heavy, so uncomfortable that you can't stand the thought of living this way anymore until you follow your heart and you make these changes. So that is what I'm seeing for 2019 that the year will bring for Taurus. Also, number-wise, we have 40, and that breaks down to 4. So firm foundation, stable foundations happening. This is going to rock your foundation until, you stand up for yourself. All right, so what lessons will Taurus learn this year? Okay, we have death and we have the 9 of Wands. So instantly I'm hearing that some of you are going to be letting your guard down. Some Tauruses are a little too guarded, a little too cautious. And this year you're going to be learning to let your guard down. This year you're going to be learning to break away from convention. So as I was saying before, with some type of ideals that were established perhaps from your youth or your family or your community, I feel like you're going to be breaking away from that. Some of you, like I said, will be potentially coming out, as part of the queer community, possibly doing a sex change, quitting a job, quitting some type of job you are really unhappy with, changing a career, and you're going to be nervous. The thought of it, like whatever it is that you're going to be ending this year, there's going to be big lessons of ending, because like I said, the universe is going to make you uncomfortable. The universe is already letting you know that change is approaching. You feel it. You're already feeling the twinge of uncomfortability that's going to be creeping upon you. And so the lessons that the universe is actually going to teach Taurus this year is that change is inevitable. You cannot fight against this. You cannot guard against this. You cannot build a wall big enough to stop this. You're going to be changing as a person internally and outwardly. I feel like for some of you, big moves are going to happen where you will like physically move, perhaps all the way to the other side of the country. For some of you, I feel like some big family secrets are about to come to light, and it's going to rock your world. Like you didn't even know that this was even a possibility, what you're going to hear. And it can be because of a death, because somebody passes away, and then all of a sudden you find out about something that, was hidden during their lifetime. So for some of my Taurus, that's going to be a lesson that you learned this year. Some of you are putting to death old childhood beliefs. Some of you are putting to death childhood trauma. Yeah, just a big sense of whatever walls you had built up, Taurus, those are crumbling down this year. There's going to be some big changes, and you're going to learn that. And you're going to learn that change is good, because it's going to transform you into that person you have always wanted to be. All right, so we have stay focused, we have ride the wave, and we have a year from now. So with this stay focused card, I feel like there's going to be death to distractions as well. So that can be people in your life. Like you might be ending some friendships and some relationships that you realize were actually distracting you from your goals and the person that you wanted to be in life. That can be you stopping yourself from making excuses for what it is that you wanted to do. Some of you, I feel like, have a fear of love, have this block put up in your heart of being close to people, loving people, and I feel like you're going to be putting an end to that this year. Something has struck your mind and has made you curious. It can be a person that you met. It can be just being tired, like I said, feeling uncomfortable with your current way of relationships and stuff. Something is calling your focus and your attention, and you can't deny it anymore. And I feel like that's going to show you what part of yourself is dying for you to allow yourself to, ride this wave. This riding of the wave, it's, first of all, a whole bunch of water. So a whole bunch of emotions. I feel like this is almost equivalent to a Ace of Cups. And I feel like it's going to be emotional outbursts that happen for you this year. It could be in regards to sadness, in regards to happiness. This is not a bad thing though. You hold back sometimes so much to try to be strong that, Taurus, this is purposeful for you to cleanse yourself, for you to truly get in touch with your emotions, for you to be the truest you possible. Some of you, especially with this ride, the wave and the two dolphins together, I feel like some of you are going to actually, step out of being single, get into a relationship, go have fun, a lighthearted relationship. Maybe you've been stuck in a situation or a relationship or a marriage or something that you felt like it was just killing you, like it was just bringing you down, and you're about to enter into a whole new phase with someone else who just makes you feel so lighthearted and fun, and you feel like you relate to them on a level that no one else relates to you on. And that's going to be, something that you'll learn this year. For others of you, I feel as though you're going to be making long-term plans. So something important in regards to a year from now, you're going to be, it could go back to some of you who want to divorce and you plan to make that happen a year from now. You might start the process this year to make it happen for next year. For others of you, if it has nothing to do with divorce, you might be breaking down barriers that are keeping you from true emotional intimacy with your partner. You may see a whole uplift in your relationship, Taurus, from the work you put in this year, a year from now. You might be in a whole much better space a year from now than you were in last year, this year, but you're putting in the work. You're breaking down the walls. And for couples who are together who may be having a rough time in your relationship, Taurus, I feel as though it's important that you go through these lessons, because perhaps there have been resentments and other things that have just been building up throughout the years that you kind of sensed were there but never really talked about it, but you're really starting to feel it. It's making you paranoid in a sense. You're realizing that something is not quite right. And I feel like the work you put in this year towards, focusing on your relationship, really one by one dismantling this wall that was set up between you and your partner, that this is going to open you to that emotional intimacy that is going to enrich your relationship and carry forth a year from now. Some of you I see have actually put in for separation, and that you actually will be working on your relationship, and that instead of separating, you will end up coming back together. You will realize how much you really love each other and you really want to work this out and fight for this. For others of you, if this is a work relationship, I feel as though you're going to be ending your fear of what's keeping you away from pursuing the career that you really want to pursue. I feel like you may get forced by the universe in that direction. So the universe might actually make you lose your job. And it's going to be scary. I know that thought, because so much is equated with work, livelihood is equated with work, but I feel like the universe is going to do this so that you can stay focused on your true potential and really what you want to do. Some of you have been using your job as a crutch to not pursue your career, and I feel like the universe is going to snatch that away from you. You have no more excuse now. What are you going to do? But if you do ride that wave and you do listen to the universe and your intuition and your instincts, I feel like a year from now, you will realize why this was necessary and you will appreciate that. So we have number 14 here, which breaks down to 5, and 5 is the number of change. Sometimes chaotic change, but change. Don't be worried, Taurus, though. That's why I feel like your angels were letting you know in the beginning that you're always protected and they're there, because you're going to have major changes that happen to you, but it's only because you've been too comfortable. You've been way too comfortable and way too kind of stubborn, and they feel as though it's time for them to come and shake up your life, because you're capable of so much more. All right, so what advice do you have, great universe, for Taurus in the new year? All right, so we have the 4 of Pentacles. For some of you, you need to save. You need to start banking, put away some money. Others of you need to start investing in something. It could be in your dreams. It can be in your relationship. Some type of investment needs to go on. Clarify. Yeah, I get a sense that Taurus, advice for you for this year is to really look towards the future, and start investing towards that future. Start investing either in resources and money and making new connections. The universe wants to move you. It wants to move you either figuratively or literally, but it's saying that in order for this to be a smoother transition for you, it wants you to start holding on to your resources. Also, I get a sense for those who I was talking to, those Taurus who may be kind of afraid to love, kind of afraid to open up in regards to love. I feel like the universe wants you, advice wise, to look towards your future and really ask yourself if what you're holding on to right now and the way you're blocking yourself from love is helping you. And is it going to provide you with the life that you want 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You might need to stop blocking your heart. And some of you, I feel like you're trying to distract yourself with material things. So you might be really into shopping, really into, trying to indulge your physical senses. Could even be with sex. Sex is a physical, bodily thing. And breaking down with the pentacles, which happen to deal with, that which is tangible, that which can be touched, also with pleasure. I feel as though some of you might be trying to block off fear of love with surrounding yourself with the material, and the universe is saying you need to look to the future. You have some choices to make, and we want you to start preparing. Clarify. All right, so we have energy healing. So advice for you, you're going to be energy healing. I also feel like this goes back to those I was talking to who may have a fear in regards to love. The universe's advice to you is really start working on healing yourself from the inside out. There's not enough money in this world to buy happiness. Now, I know it can help in regards to, adding to happiness, but you have to already be happy with your life. And no matter what you buy, no matter how many people get into your bed, any of that type of stuff you try to distract yourself with, if you are not truly happy deep in your soul, if you have not gone inside of you, and this does not mean just jump into a relationship. That's not the advice at all. You need to go within yourself and figure out, what is it in me that is hurting, is scared, is, fearful of connecting with another person on that level. That's what needs to happen. Not just jumping into a relationship, because if you just jump into a relationship just to prove to yourself, oh, see, I can do it, then you don't know who you're about to align yourself with. You don't know who you're about to grab, because you're not truly seeing with eyes that are looking for the greater good of yourself. You're just looking to grab somebody just because, once again, you think it's going to fill a physical need that's missing. A person just being there in your life is not the same as a person being there because they actually complement your life. Clarify. Clarify. All right, so we have intention, number 22, which breaks down to 4, which talks about firm foundations. And we have this owl here. This card actually just came up, I think, for a pick a card reading I was doing, and I just thought it was really beautiful because there's so much symbolism here in this card. So we have this owl, which is a symbolism of, first of all, this white owl, purity and wisdom. Then we have, I believe it's a daffodil. I kind of get this mix between dandelions. I think dandelions are the yellow ones, but either way, this is that puffy white flower that when you blow on it, all the little pieces just disperse into the wind. So usually that's a symbol of wishes. Like, people like to make wishes on them before they blow onto them. And then this owl, this wise owl with this wish is standing on top of an egg, standing on top of something that has the potential to birth and, manifest. And so I feel like advice for you is focus on healing yourself, especially energy wise. Go deep. You know, sit down and look at the areas of yourself that are hurting. And it doesn't have to just be into love, it can be any area of yourself that needs healing. Really focus on your healing this year. That's your advice, because you need to be healed. You need to be working on that in order to manifest clearly your wishes, your hopes, your dreams. You have so much you want to accomplish, Taurus. So much you want to do. And in order to do that, you need to make sure that you're manifesting from a place of positivity, a place of your intentions are actually coming from what's good for you, not what's going to keep you feeling safe and comfortable even if it's not good for you. And then we have ask for help from others. So I feel like that's the universe telling you, don't try to do everything on your own. Like I said before, with the energy of your year, you're going to be breaking away from all of these burdens. I feel like sometimes you might be worried that you are a burden to other people, or you never want to be a burden to others, or you never want someone to see you as not being capable. And you're not supposed to worry about that, Taurus. Instead, the universe is letting you know that we are putting so much love and support around you. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. And that could be even going to a therapist. Do not be afraid to go to therapy if you need to. Do not be afraid to, if there are trusted friends and family around you, or even your partner, to open up and talk. Some of you are too closed in, and this does not have to be just romantically. This could be with just the people around you in general. You don't open up to people. You hold a lot of your thoughts and a lot of your pain inside. And this is for some Taurus, as I was saying. Advice this year is to open up. Surround yourself with people you can trust, that you can share some of these burdens. You can unload your thoughts. Even if you have to get yourself a therapist, it's absolutely okay. Even if you got to talk to the universe and be like, please help me, guide me, I'm feeling lost. It's okay. Because you're creating this year. You're creating some powerful things for your future. And you need to make sure that you're healing and you're in alignment, so that you're not bringing more hurt into your life, that your intentions are not attracting more pain. For some of you, I also feel like you may need to go to the doctor in regards to fertility. You might be looking into fertility treatment. That might be an issue that's occurring. And it's okay. It's all right to ask for help. It's all right to look for whatever means it is that you need to look for, whether it would be with a surrogate. This could stand for some of you getting a surrogate this year. It could stand for some of you deciding to adopt. There's so many other ways to be a parent. So many other ways. So please don't feel like a failure because you couldn't do it one way. So what? You were meant to bless somebody else's life in a completely different way then. So that's a message for someone specific out there. All right, and so we have, and when Taurus feels derailed, what do you want them to know that will put them back on track? Clarify. All right. So when Taurus feels derailed throughout 2019, when you feel lost, when you feel confused, when you feel drained, the universe wants you to know, to put you back on track, that you need to employ patience and planning. That the things that are shaking you up are universally guided. Once again, they are going to make you uncomfortable. Once again, the universe is purposely going to end certain things into your life. And when you start feeling just like you have no control, the universe wants you to stop and pause and look at the situation and try to see the brighter side of it, try to see the blessing in it, try to see how will this actually serve me in the long haul. I feel like this terribly unexpected thing just happened, but what did it clear away? What room did it just put on my plate for some other blessing to come along? So when you start feeling that way, that's what the universe wants you to do this year. Okay, so we have the yes card. So I feel like that goes back to the advice that I was just giving you. Some of you may also need to say yes a little bit more. When you feel derailed and everything, some of you might be feeling that way because you're trying to hold on to your comfortable zone, and you might need to say yes to some things that make you comfortable, but they actually are good for you. They offer changes, positive changes into your life. Some of you, the obvious, you might need to drink more water. Some of you might not be hydrating yourself enough. That could be a health concern that is actually there. Some of you might have some health concerns that come up this year, and the universe is saying, I'm kind of putting a health scare into your life because you haven't been paying attention, you haven't been noticing, and I'm trying to make you get back on track with your health. For others of you, there might be some money loss, some unexpected money loss. Like I said, you may unfortunately lose your job. This is number 39, which breaks down to 12, which breaks down even further to 3. So there might be some financial issues that you have this year. This is the protecting treasure card. So that's possibly why the universe is telling you before as advice to start saving. Make sure you have some rainy day, money with you. Also, for some of you with the protecting treasure card, I get a sense of first of all, you're always going to be protected and divinely directed. Please remember that, Taurus. No matter what happens this year, know that nothing is happening to punish you. Everything is happening to bless you, to clear out the way of things. And it's only going to hurt, in a sense, if you refuse the change, if you don't flow with it. Now, I will say, in regards to those who may potentially end up losing their job, the universe wants you to know you're going to be fine, though, because they already told you to start saving. They already were talking to you about you need to focus on a different job, a different career, a different path. Maybe you want to start your own career. Maybe there's just another field you really wanted to get into, and the universe is trying to provide you with that. Also, it just jumped into my mind from spirit that a lot of you don't realize that you're speaking things into existence, which is why you need to energy heal to get your intentions on point, because some of you have been walking around saying like, oh, I can't stand this job, or oh, I would be able to do such and such if I wasn't stuck working here. And you've been saying this so much that you don't realize that you are manifesting the moment that you're going to lose your job. You have set the wheels in motion because you keep telling the universe like, oh, I could do great things, or I could do this, or I could be doing da 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 if I wasn't here. Oh man, if I didn't have this job, if I didn't have to worry about such and such. Some of you are going to lose the very thing you keep saying. If it wasn't blocking me, I could do more, because the universe is about to test you. Are you really about to go do more? If I take this from your life, you keep making excuses for why you're not so far ahead. If I take this from your life, are you really going to go ahead and do more? So make sure that you are saving. Make sure that you are taking care of all the things you need to take care of, and also make sure you're not putting yourself, like I said before, in situations just to stay comfortable, just because they feel easy. Also, I want you to be careful, Taurus, this year in regards to your relationships. Make sure, like I said, you're not taking on more responsibility in things and to a point where it's hurting you. Make sure you're not giving loyalty to people who don't deserve it. Even if that's to a company, to a family, to a partner, just make sure that you are not in a situation where you are giving more and are receiving so much less. Don't allow yourself to be comfortable with being disrespected, with being treated small. Don't do it. And also make sure you're leading with integrity. Make sure you're not the one turning around trying to treat others less than they deserve. Like I said, if there's a situation, especially with the relationships, and you're deciding you don't want to be in a partnership anymore, I am not judging, but I am saying that karma is very real. So the way you handle the situation is nothing wrong with you not wanting to be with someone anymore, but it's all about how you go about it. What you do is like a pebble being dropped into a pond. It will ripple. It will ripple. So your actions will have consequences. And it doesn't mean that it has to be a terrible consequence. No matter what you do, there will be some type of reaction to that. But make sure that if you are dealing with different people, different partnerships, whatever the case is, if you're going into business with someone, whatever, first of all, make sure that you're being treated right. You're being treated with integrity. This is someone you can trust. But also make sure that you are also trustworthy. Also make sure that you are standing with integrity and that you are a wholesome, good person. So that is what is going to help you get back on track when you start feeling lost this year. All right, so Now let's go into the overview. We're going to take a look at the energies for January, February, and March. All right, so I just had a few different messages hit me. So for January, for some Taurus, some of you are going to have some issues with the father figure in your life, or could even be your job, some type of institution, something that provides, someone who provides. So some of you are going to bump heads with this person because this is the moment where you're trying to establish your freedom, establish that you have other type of thoughts. For others of you, I feel as though, in regards to your work, you're going to stand up. You're going to present new ideas. Some of you might be speaking to your boss, and it could be about leaving. It could be about wanting a position, a higher position, a promotion. I just feel like some type of talk is going to be had because you've been sparked. You feel anywhere that you feel oppressed. I feel like January is going to be pushing you to get your thoughts out, to communicate that, to really push to stand in that emperor energy. Some of you, I feel like, will meet a partner. Could be a man, but it can also just be a very strong-willed partner, very structured, responsible person. Could be slightly older than you or much older than you, actually, or they could just be a lot more mature. And I feel like some of you will be meeting this person in January. Could be when you're on vacation. Like this woman here, she looks like she's actually at Hawaii. Well, excuse me, in Hawaii. She has these flowers and everything. So you could be meeting someone when you're on vacation, or you could even be on break from work, or out of town visiting family, something. You might be introduced to a family friend or something. But I just feel like for some of you romantically, you may be meeting someone who kind of challenges your previous thought patterns. This is a very established person within themselves. Doesn't have to be money wise, but I feel like they know who they are. And then romantically, for January, yes, this is your soulmate. So some of you in January will be meeting your soulmate, and it may be that emperor person. Like I said, this can be a man, or it can be a woman who just embodies emperor qualities. With this being the Ace of Swords, this could be a new start for you. And I feel like the bond, like the attraction that initially hits, is very mental. Doesn't mean you don't find this person attractive, doesn't mean that you won't develop emotions for them, but I feel like what initially grabs you towards each other is the mental connection, and how witty you think this person is, or how much you love their mindset and the things that they say. They might be very different than what you're used to and what you were raised to go towards. But the universe is letting you know that, yes, this is your soulmate. Now, I like to put this disclaimer out when I come across this card. In regards to soulmates, you can have many soulmates in your life. You already do have many soulmates in your life. People tend to think of soulmate as just romantic. I mean, in this sense, it is romantic because I asked specifically romance. But you have family members who are soulmates, you have friends who are soulmates, literally, and not everybody is necessarily a soulmate, but literally a soulmate is someone that you made a contract with, a spiritual contract with, that when you would come down into this life, that they would come to help you learn a lesson, support you, anything of that nature. Some soul contracts last for just a certain amount of time until you learned the lesson, until whatever they were needed for was completed, and then they have to leave your life. Other soul contracts, you agree that, you're going to be in my life until I die. So you can have long-term friendships that are, a soulmate connection. You can have long-term relationships that are soulmate connections. So I just wanted to put that out there for people. And that's just literally, like I said, people you make contracts with, people you may have lived other past lives with. but the universe wants you to know, yes, this is your soulmate. So then moving into February, I see that you're really sparked with lots of energy. You have the King of Wands and you have the World. So I feel like you're moving in a new direction. You feel very sparked and guided to leap towards something. You know, a doorway has opened for you. Now, this could be leaping towards a person. Perhaps, you know, you've been sparked to actually go towards a relationship, especially for my Tauruses who may have been a little apprehensive about love, or, you know, just holding off from relationships for some type of reason. I feel like this person just seems so completely new to you, and this could be the person that you met. Let me see, this is the Emperor. I believe the Emperor is Aries energy. So they could be an Aries, they could be a fire sign. Doesn't have to be, but it could be. With this Ace of Swords here, they could be an air sign. So like I said, it doesn't have to be, but I just wanted to point that out. But I feel like you are driven. You are very passionate in February. Like, whatever it is that you're focused on, whether it is traveling for work, whether it is starting a new career, going to school, ending something, something has you just so motivated in February. And we also have Taurus here. So you might be something with another Taurus. Could even be something with yourself. Maybe you have some type of spark that you see a vision of something you want for yourself, and you're just so sparked in February to make that happen. Also, we have Leo here, so you might be dealing once again with a fire sign, a Leo. You don't have to, but just saying. I also see that this is clarified by Waite, so some of you might be getting into writing. Some of you might be having dreams, lots of dreams, because you have the moon, a full moon here, and you have one here. So I feel like you might be getting messages in your dreams in January and February. You might be having some really vivid imagination type of dreams, creative dreams. You might want to keep a dream journal. You might want to write some of them down, because once again, the angels might be talking to you in there, and there might be some significant symbolism that you want to look back on later on. Some of you might be getting a message from someone far away, and this might reignite contact between you two. Some of you might also be getting a message from some type of job opportunity that you really wanted, and you know, you're setting your sights on that. Some of you might even get a message from a family member. Could be far away. You could get a message that a family member is pregnant actually too. I just see messages. And some of you who are Tauruses, who are writers, I feel that you'll be very inspired in February to write. Especially because you've experienced this freedom. You've broken away from something in January. Like, you're feeling wide open, like the world is yours. You're on top of the world in February. For some of you, Egypt might be important. That might be something big for you. So we have Hawaii, January, we have Egypt in February. Some of you, you might be traveling to either one of those places during January or February, or hear a message from somebody from one of those places, or come across some type of symbolism that is significant to one of those places. So you might just want to keep an eye out for that. And then romantically for February, we have true love. Okay, so some of you are meeting your soulmate in January and experiencing true love in February. So that was a very quick progression. And it doesn't mean that you have to do anything drastic about it, but it's just showing like the deepening. So in regards to your romantic life, Taurus, in February, some of you, it says this is the romance of a lifetime. So some of you will be experiencing those moments and feelings of true love. Some of you might be getting real lovey-dovey and writing some poems. And some of you might also start writing down intentions, writing down plans for the future. Some of you, your relationship with this person, you might enter into a long-distance relationship. And others of you could be writing to close a long-distance relationship. And it doesn't have to be in a breakup type of way. You can be working to end the distance, come together. So now in March. Now March is an interesting energy, because in March you're I don't want to say conflicted, but you're trying to balance. And I think it's perfectly clarified by this card. And once again, Isis. So we have 2 Egyptian cards that came out. So this is Thoth and this is Isis. It says balance career and home life. So in March, some of you are really going to be focusing on trying to balance your time, balance your money, balance your energy. You might be trying to spend more time with your family and your friends. You might have felt a bit isolated in January and in February, and in March you're really trying to, be a part of the festivities. Some of you, in regards to work, you're trying to get into something that you enjoy doing, something that it doesn't feel like so much of a chore to be at. So there really is a balancing going on because you're looking more towards the future, especially if for my Tauruses who are entering into a relationship, for March, you might really be looking for the long term of, well, my way of living before was okay if when I was single, but now that I'm actually entering into a relationship, I need to have more time, to let this relationship grow. Now, I would like to say, for my Tauruses who are already in a relationship, I do not want to exclude you. So for my Tauruses who are already in a relationship, your relationship can be going through a deeper phase of connection during January and February. So you can be coming to the realization that this person that you're with is indeed your soulmate. You can be deepening into the connection of experiencing another bout of true love with this person that you already love. Perhaps you see a new side of them. I feel like somebody's going to see something new about the person that they've already been with, and it just sparks once again what they love about this person. And you might travel together. You might go away on vacation. I know some people like to travel to far off places in January and February, kind of like the off seasons, because the prices tend to be cheaper. So, you might be traveling and fall in love with your partner again. So it doesn't have to necessarily be about finding someone new. It can be the fact that you see your relationship and your partner in a whole new way. And once again, for my Tauruses who are in a relationship already, perhaps you didn't have enough time for your relationship before. That could have been something that was causing some of those resentments that were building up. And now, ever since, connecting deeper in January and February, now in March, you're really, both of you, trying to make time to balance out this relationship for home and career, to make time for, doing what I need to do in the outside world, but also making sure that our relationship doesn't suffer, that we still grow from this. So that's beautiful. You have the 2 of Pentacles and you have the 10 of Cups, and I also feel like you're going to try to have more fun with each other. So romantically for March, we have engagement. This is beautiful, Taurus. This is beautiful. For some of my Tauruses, you're going to be getting engaged. Some of you might be getting engaged. Others of you might just be taking your relationship to the next level, which could be making it official, maybe giving it a title and, really talking about what you want to do. Some of you might be moving in together. I just feel like, this is a beautiful progression of meeting your soulmate, or realizing or recognizing someone as your soulmate, experiencing true love, whether that's for the first time with them or once again, and then taking that connection to another level. It says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So I just think that's wonderful. There are plans being made for the future of this connection. So Taurus, that looks beautiful. I am wishing you all the best in 2019. Like I said, I will come back in April to do an overview for you for the next 3 months. So April, May, and June. And I'll continue to do that, like I said, throughout the year. But this has been a really wonderful reading. And like I said, I know it's going to feel difficult throughout the year. I know it's going to feel like, a lot of things are challenging you. A lot of things might be ending. But it's ending and it's challenging you for the greater good. It wants to bring the universe wants to bring in so many beautiful blessings for you. But if you're so stuck on following the ideals of other people, or the path that other people want you to follow, or working the job just because it has money, but I hate the saying. It just came into my head. Spirit just put it there. I hate that saying of what is it, like never sleeping, grinding hard, don't never sleep, got mad jobs, that whole type of thing. I hate how our society holds up overworking yourself. resting is just as important. The fact of the matter is, and this is just my opinion, I'm about to go out on a little tangent, I don't feel as though society should make it to where people have to work so many jobs just to live a comfortable life. You should not have to grind to where you don't sleep and get time to be around your loved ones, that you don't have time to yourself, that you have to constantly make money, that you see your coworkers more than you see your family. Like, I think that's a problem. So I feel like the universe is trying to open you up to other opportunities, other careers, other paths that allow you to get everything out of life that you want without having to sacrifice so much of your time and energy for what you don't want to do, for a company, for just making money. Some of us, we go to work and we're constantly making our paychecks and everything, and yeah, we're making money, but we're making money for an apartment that we barely spend time to sleep in, for TV that we barely get a chance to watch. It's just, it can be very frustrating, and I feel like the universe is trying to free you from that. So allow it to free you. Look at it when these things pop up in your life. If you get upset, it's okay. Feel upset, honor your emotions, feel it, feel the fear for a second if you need to, but then start looking at the bigger picture, start making plans, start actually being like, all right, this is a blessing. How am I going to move forward? So Taurus, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. I'm sending you lots of love and light and abundance, especially in regards to your love life. This was just amazing. Now, I do want to put out there that this is a general reading for the collective, so it may not resonate for a lot of you, or it might. Take what does, leave what doesn't. It's absolutely okay. But if you would like something more personal, I do offer personal readings in my Etsy shop. You can find that in the description box below. But yeah, thank you, Taurus. I will see you again in April. And until then, I have a whole bunch of different readings on my channel if you want to check those out. But I will see you next time.